Hey y'all, what's going on? What's going on? Let's talk about these people, honey. This reunion was real lackluster, but it had a little stuff going on. So we're gonna get into it. How is everybody doing? Let me greet everyone. Woo, child. So listen, I'm glad I made it. Y'all, please hit the like button. Help your girl out. Them thumbs up mean a whole heck of a lot, and I would sure appreciate it if y'all could help a girl out with a like. Help me with a like, y'all. Help me with a like. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Yes. Let me greet everyone real quick. Real quick. Okay. Oh, child. Oh, I feel like I just ran a mile. Even though I didn't. I simply ran to the ladies' room. Ain't that something? Hey, Mame D. You say part one was good. It was kind of good. It was. I'm going to give it to them. I don't know. I think it's just a difference in the ones that we love, RHOP, and used to be back in the day, RHOA. And it was like the energy was so different. So I watched these girls and I did enjoy it. But anyway, we'll talk about it. Hey, Egypt. I know that's right. That's our girl. Hey. She said, y'all hit that button now. Make sure y'all hit it. Hey, Vita from Denver. Okay, learning to love myself. How you doing? TJ Ray, how are you? There's my Kia Cocoa Pop. Oh, you're not feeling good. Oh, get you some sleep, Peanut. Get some sleep. Jackie Gaines, how you doing? Good to see you. Debbie Garcia. Hey, girl, I knew you was coming. You say Team Gorga. Girl, it was a trip tonight. That's all I'm going to say for now. Hey, Dana Cutler. DS, how are you? Okay, I'm glad you made it. Got my good sis up in here, Deandra O'Neill in the house. DS is in here. Queen Mermaid. Hey, sister. How are you? We got Miss Sparkle, our Mary Kay lady in the house. Okay. Glad you made it. Kim Bird, how you doing? Good to see you. Always a pleasure. We got Miss Nona Perkins. How are you? Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you're here. We got RJ Gray, y'all. We got to watch out. We don't never know what RJ Gray gonna say in this chat. But I'm so glad you're here to say it. Our baby sister D. Marie is in the house. How are you? The beautiful, stunningly beautiful Bianca Edwards is here. Hello, Delicia Dismuke. Hi, sis. G, darling, where your crown went, girl? You listening from work again, off in 30 minutes. Oh, okay. All right. And thank you for the thumbs up. Oh, it's our sister Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl. Yes, I'm glad you're here. You say it's been a while, but I'm so glad to see you. It's always good to see you. We got Tara Hill up in here. How you doing, Rochelle? Hey, boo. All right, Tosh, you made it. You ain't watched it yet. Don't worry. I'm going to tell you everything, but it's going to be the Cliff Notes. After the Cliff Notes, you can go ahead and watch it for real, and then you can come back and tell us what you thought about the whole shebang. Hello, thick girl, and Latasha Black. Hey, lady, how you doing, gorgeous? Let's talk about this show. So first of all, double check y'all thumbs up because y'all know YouTube be acting greasy with your girl. Check it and make sure they ain't take your like back. Don't let them take your thumb back, honey. Your thumb matters around here. Okay? Make sure that you have hit the notification bell. Make sure you click all so you know every time we go live. We got our girl up in here, Miss Dr. J 1913. It was definitely a hot mess. Absolutely. You say good reunion part one. Okay, well, we're going to get into it. Let's get into it. Let's talk. Okay, shall we? Can we talk? Can the sisters rap? So, they started with the Nashville set. And I said, okay, all right, I get it. It wasn't real exciting. I did not understand their outfit choices. It looks like everybody was told to either go gold or metallic. Teresa wore mirrors. I didn't understand the clothing choices. Nobody looked bad, but nobody looked good either. Okay. And as per normal, Jen did a little too much with her outfit, but I'm starting to think that's just Jen's style. Jen is kind of flashy and over the top, but nobody looked bad. Not even her. Nobody looked bad. Let's just see. You say she looks like she's in the middle of her change into a what? You got to finish typing. So right, you had to double click on before here. See, I'm telling you, you got to check that thumb. So everybody was fixed or whatever. I guess as best they could, and Andy went around like he normally does. You say she looked like she was about to change into that wolf. She could have been. I don't know if it was a full moon when they recorded it or not. Hey, SS, you say, what is it with New Jersey and the tacky child? I think that's their trademark, girl. We got to let them have it now. But Andy went around asking questions. Most of them were not worth paying attention to. I don't think nobody really cared if Joe and Melissa are finished building that house. Not really sure if that actually matters. I did find it interesting that Jen say she took her chin out. And I'm sitting there like, so you can take the chin back out, y'all? Honey, the girl say she took her chin back out and her nose has settled. It did look like it was less aggressive. Her nose was quite less aggressive. So that was a good thing. She said she ain't getting cut no more. So that was interesting. Ty say Teresa looked like it's a Forever 21 New Year's jumpsuit that's on clearance because most of the sequins fell off. Now, you know what? Y'all petty. I knew y'all was going to get her for putting those big mirror pieces on that jumpsuit. Or mirror sequins, plastic, whatever that was on that jumpsuit. That was interesting. Teresa and Louis got engaged while they were off, and she got a big old ring. Apparently, Miss Thina had appendix surgery, and she can't do no screaming. So, and mind you, it's cool that she can't scream because then you can actually get her to answer some questions, or you can corner her on some of her bull crap when she can't just scream over you. Because y'all know that's normally Teresa's move. I'm gonna just scream over the top of you so that you won't be able to get your point or ask any real questions. So I thought that was very interesting. Hey, DS done started early. DS say not clip on facial pieces. Honey, apparently it's just like Mr. Potato Head. That must be what it is because she popped that chin right back off and left the nose on. So Teresa started talking and the studio went black. Girl, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it because I was like, not the blackout. It was too deep. So then Dolores let it come out. She got her boyfriend. She say she in love. She trying to open up. And they went straight to the whole situation with Jackie and Dolores. Okay. Child, TJ Ray, they was on one tonight. Girl, she was still talking over people, but Debbie, she couldn't scream like she normally does, though. Like, I guess because she had the surgery, she couldn't get that screaming in. Because you know how Teresa gets. When she can't really get her way or she can't control what other people are saying, she will normally like scream at the top of her lungs and like disorganize the whole place just to like derail the conversation. And she wasn't able to do that. I guess because she was scared she was going to bust her stitches, which is actually funny. It's not funny that she could have busted her stitches and bled out on that sad jumpsuit, but it was funny that she could not scream and just disorganize the conversation because she didn't like what was being said. I did enjoy that because honestly, y'all, I can't stand people that do that. Like literally when they know they're wrong and they can't get other people to just shut up and fall and drink the Kool-Aid and fall for the crap. That's when they start disorganizing or they'll pretend like they're ready to fight everybody. Just tear up stuff to derail the conversation, just to deflect and get everybody's attention somewhere else. And Teresa is good at doing that. So I was kind of grateful for the appendix surgery. I'm not happy the girl was sick, but I was grateful for the appendix surgery. Can we say thank the Lord for appendix surgery? Cheryl said, gotta watch the reunion. Didn't watch the episode, but we'll watch the reunion. It was worth it. Hey, Anna, girl, how you been? Girl, a lot of us can't stand her. We can't hardly stand Teresa, Anna. You're not by yourself. She got a couple of fans. Hey, Glock 9. You kind of new. Oh, well, you real welcome. You're not kind of welcome. You real welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So that was interesting. That's all I can say about that. That was interesting about the surgery. So they get into Jackie and Dolores, and they brought up the whole argument between them. And they end up asking. Now, to me, this was a weird question. This was a real, and that's why I love you, Debbie. Debbie say, thank the Lord. Just thank the Lord for appendix surgery. But it was so funny because Andy gonna ask Jackie, were you afraid of Dolores? I'm sitting there like, what kind of question is that? Now, I will tell you this. I found it interesting because normally, you don't really find him acting like that with the clear ladies, if I got to be honest. So I thought that was a little strange, and I don't know why. It kind of gave me a weird little feeling. Like, they both women. So what do you mean, were you afraid of her? Were you asking her that because she don't hardly eat and she was kind of frail? Like, what were you thinking? Why would you think that was an okay question to ask? I'm always kind of thrown off when people ask questions like that and there's two women having an argument. She's a woman, you a woman. Both of them have babies, both of them have a cycle. I wasn't really understanding exactly how you would need to ask if she was afraid of another woman. Hey, Debbie Parnell. So that didn't make a lot of sense to me, but Andy is always doing something creepy, cringy, and problematic. Jackie was mad that Dolores called her this. I feel like, G darling, it might have gave you like an extra or a new like YouTube profile or something, because I think your other one, your old one, still has the crown. But on this phone, it's not. So you might have to like log into your YouTube with your old email address. Does that make sense? Because if not, then you would have to do it again. And I wouldn't want you to have it on both of them because then it would be charging you twice. But just call me and I'll try to help you. You got my number. But in any event, like I said, that was uncomfortable to watch him even say that to another woman. That just really was too much. Jackie was mad that she was called this, talking about, because I'm so accomplished or whatever. I don't understand people like that. Y'all just gonna have to forgive me, because in my mind, I feel like if you're in the middle of an argument, how do you get to tell somebody how to insult you when y'all both insulting each other in an argument? I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up. I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do with that. What do you even do with that? Can somebody tell me? Anybody? How does that work? We're in the middle of an argument, but while we arguing and we both insulting each other, I get to tell you what insults to use on me while we arguing. I'm sorry. Like, am I tripping, y'all? Glennis, hey boo, there go my Christian key. I was looking for you. SS say, I always find it more weird when someone answers yes to being afraid of someone. Who gives a human that much power? I know that's right. I'm not understanding. Like, it doesn't track. It doesn't track. It's not making sense to me. Say, yeah, Pee-wee be on some crazy stuff. For real. Like, we all women. I don't care if she's fatter, taller, shorter, wider, thinner. A woman is a woman is a woman. We all women. Ain't nobody got no business being afraid of nobody else. We're all women. That to me was typical Andy problematic bullcrap. Jackie being upset about somebody calling her this when people have called you much worse. And if I recall, you were saying some choice words too. So I'm not sure exactly what Jackie was expecting, but y'all know I'm not feeling Jackie. Hey, Marilyn, my sis made it. Okay, Anna said, I get what you're saying, but there's something about Dolores I never liked. It's probably that whole fish rilla thing. It's something about her face that's very unsettling, and sometimes she can seem a little snakish. Sometimes. So I definitely understand that, Anna. And then, okay, so the more they dug through that, I do like the fact that they were able to work through it and still be cool. Right, G darling, what Cheryl telling you right there. Make sure it's the right account. Yeah, one of them has it and one of them don't. That's what's going on. Hey, DM Rocks. Said I hear that Jackie got demoted for the next season. No, I ain't heard that part yet. But don't it make sense for Jackie to get demoted? Like, how many times we gonna follow her to therapy? I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be insensitive, but how much do we really need to hear about her therapy? That's all. That's all. Because I don't quite understand what she brings to the show. And to be honest, I never did. I didn't have a problem with her, but I don't know what she really brought to the show, to be honest. Now, while they going back and forth and talking about why they felt how they felt, Jen jumps in to still try to push the Jackie was cheated on too narrative. Girl, let it go. At the end of the day, that man said he didn't do that to her. She believes him that he didn't do that to her. You have no proof that he did that to her. And so basically, the only thing that you're trying to hold over Jackie's head with that is because she was nice to you after you went digging for dirt on her husband. Okay, that bothers me just a bit much. Anna says she kisses Teresa's booty, but it seems that might be changing. And yes, I heard Jackie got demoted. Girl, yes. After what I saw tonight, I had enough of Melissa. Y'all finally won me over. Because to be honest, Melissa never made a real impression on me. But I couldn't see what the problem was with her. I finally see what the problem is with Melissa. I'm just over her. SS says, what I don't like about Dolores is she does have it in her to be the I said what I said girl, but she's too submissive and cowardly. I don't think it's submissive and cowardly, SS. I think what she is calculated and devious. That's what I get from her. See, you got to listen. There's a saying that you don't mistake the gentle strides of a lion for cowardice. Sometimes when people are moving slow, it's because they're calculated and they're predatory. And that's what I see with Dolores, which is not a good thing. Please understand that was not a compliment. But everybody that you see being quiet and letting you get off insults and get off all your shots, it doesn't mean that person is a coward. That person sometimes is usually one of the more dangerous people in a friend group. I feel like Dolores has a side to her that's very ugly. Thank you, Tosh. Dolores definitely moves very snakish. Very snakish. And you never liked Melissa? I'm dead. Now you say, Melissa got 4 nose jobs and lying saying she got 2. Well, now DM Rocks, now I got to mess with you on this. You ready? Do it matter if she had 2 or 20? Once you let people play in your face with Ginsu knives, we just don't know. You know what I mean? Like, once you've been cut, you've been cut, in my opinion. I'm just saying. I don't know whether Melissa thinks she making it sound better by saying she had less work done than she did. But girl, you had work done. Work is work. TJ Ray said Andy gonna catch whiplash in the neck and lose his voice for all his head turning back and forth. He gonna do a lot of screaming at them heifers. I don't know if he can out scream them. I'm just saying. Hey, Auntie Eva. So get this. So let's move right along. But she was really still trying to push that narrative. Like, girl, Bill cheated. Stop trying to, bring somebody else's husband into it. The fact that we know Bill cheated is because you couldn't keep your mouth off other people's business. Okay, stay out. You stop doing stuff like that. Tara, you know what I'm talking about? That's real. That's real. You got to watch them people. You sitting up there thinking that you punking somebody or you insulting them and they just taking it. Those people are very, very dangerous folks. You got to be more careful. Like, you legit got to be more careful. Now, it was so funny. Then come to say that then they were what Jackie was trying to say about Dolores was, which I said this in early on in the season, that Dolores was agreeing with one person and agreeing with the other. But Dolores's justification was, hey, I was on your side until I heard about all the stuff you did. And Jen was mad, but it's like, you can't get mad. Honey, you had people on your side with partial information. Once that girl found out exactly what you did, you cannot expect on any day of the week that she was going to be like, oh, but she's right anyway. Well, actually, let me not say that. Jen could expect that because that's how she is with Teresa. Even if she know that Teresa's dead wrong, she's still, she's still down by law. Everybody don't play those games. When you wrong, sometimes they just going to tell you wrong. What I will give Dolores credit for, Fisherilla or not, she told Jen to her face, hey, you just got to suck it up because you did some bad stuff. That wasn't cool what you did. Hey, Sheriff Owner. Okay, hey, Plum. All right. DM say Andy told Teresa not to yell so much since she got her appendix removed before the reunion. Well, she knows she not supposed to. G darling, I don't see it. Miss Gigi say, hey y'all, just peeking in. That's all right. We just glad you here, girl. We just glad you here. Tara Hill, now you know what? I just looked up and seen that comment. Say, I'm quiet. Them quiet ones be like them quiet poops. I hate that F word. You know what? Quick, the truth about that. My mama used to beat us if she caught us saying that word. So I think that I got like a little bit of PTSD. Like I could say the word sometime, but sometimes it's just so hard to say. I just, whoo, child. I have to just like hold my breath and see if I can just say it real fast. Plum, thank you so much for the super sticker. I love you bunches. I'm so glad you're here. So get this. So let's move right along because I don't want to get too hung up before we get to the heavy stuff. I'm just getting y'all through the preliminary, okay? So, which I understood what she said. Once I found out what you did, I gotta say it. The clear people was mad because Dolores told a girl don't cry. Mind you, Dolores actually pointed out the fact that Jen was the one who told her, you got to remind me not to cry. But then when they on camera, the only thing people saw was don't cry. And then the fact that Jennifer sat up there and admitted that she legit told a girl to remind her not to cry. But then you're going to go along with the fact that people saying she was being cold and saying, well, oh, if I want to cry, I'm going to cry. Girl, you told her to remind you not to cry. Then all of a sudden, because you want to be a victim. See, this is why I don't like Pinocchio. This is why I don't like Pinocchio. Pinocchio want to be a victim so that way she can be as nasty, vile, horrible, and cantankerous as possible and never be wrong. I have had enough. Okay? So anyway, they got to the Peter Wheat and somebody else about the man putting his dang-a-lang in somebody. What Jackie said. So Jen said, you know, okay, I saw what context she said it, that she felt bad for me, but she's still saying like, I'm worried about my kids going to see this. My question is, why is your kids watching it, but not my business, not my children? Now, Teresa said that Jackie not classy, which if I was Jackie, I would have fell out laughing. I would have died. I would have died. I would have died. Because the fact that Teresa said telling somebody they not classy, I would take it as a compliment. If what Teresa does or how Teresa behaves is considered classy, let me be the opposite. Let me be anti-class. Okay? Right. Thank you, Tara. It does. It makes you just cringe just until you pop your back in three places. It's heavy. Then, of course, somebody wrote in, one of the viewers pointing out Teresa's hypocrisy because for whatever reason, she still doesn't get that spreading that rumor about Jackie's husband was wrong. And then now this part, before we get into the heavy stuff, okay? Before we get into the heavy stuff, y'all, I hope those of you who watch this caught this. Teresa said, I ain't dug up nothing on that girl's man, on her husband, right? They said, did you ask her to do it? Teresa said, no, I did not send her to do it. Then Jen's gonna offer this, gonna say, well, when everything was going on, I offered and said there's one person I could probably ask. And so she went and asked that person, but it was nothing there. But now y'all remember during the season, she sat there and alluded to the fact that Teresa asked her to do it. And then got up here and said that, no, I offered and told her it's one person I can probably ask. So Jen, again, Pinocchio, which is the perfect name for her lying tale, she knew Teresa didn't just flat out ask her to do it. She knew she did it for Teresa, but Teresa didn't ask her to do that. I don't believe. I really don't. But the fact that that Teresa lied and Jen lied, we'll never know the whole truth. But the fact that you literally alluded to that. When people were saying it, you didn't say, hey, that's not what happened. You let them believe that. And then when they ask you, well, hey, when you was getting drugged for digging this up, why didn't Teresa stick up for you? She says, well, I guess my idea of loyalty and hers is different. Instead of saying, hey, my friend didn't ask me to do that. Hey, happy to be happy. Debbie says she needed to choke on one of them feathers because she was flapping her arms like a bird. Girl, I'm surprised that hooker didn't take flight. You caught that, Debbie? You caught it. Mm-hmm. Happy to be happy. You late, girl, but you made it. Yes, Tosh, she did throw her under the bus and the jungle gym in the woods. Clearly. I kind of felt bad for Joe, but I kind of didn't because Pinocchio had a point too, but we're gonna get to that. Okay. Then Marge, then they went back and forth with her and Teresa. Jackie and Teresa kept going back and forth, which I kind of get the animosity because you were spreading rumors about the lady husband, but you let this girl apologize. You accepted her apology. Then every chance you get, now you're bringing it up. I question the authenticity of Jackie's outrage. I don't even think you outraged no more. I think you bringing it up because large Marge didn't get what she was looking for. So you still trying to give, some justification to y'all's whole thing. And I felt like Melissa was doing some of that too, but I'm going to get to it. And now this was the thing. When Teresa called that girl insecure, honey, Jackie talking about, I'm one of the strongest people you know. Now, Jackie, we got to call bullcrap. You can't be the fragile, frail, anorexic, and you the strongest person we know. I'm sorry. No. I call bull. You are not the world's strongest anorexic. Stop it. Just stop it. Now, enough is enough now. You're going too far with the comedy. Okay? So that was enough on the preliminary, because to me, that was all fluff and preliminary. That was stuff that we already knew. That's stuff that we already dealt with throughout the season. I guess they had to bring it up to hash it out. And it let us know that not Jackie, but Pinocchio and Dolores, Jen and Dolores are no longer friends. From what I could tell, Dolores don't know where it came from that she's not her friend. I feel like Dolores was actually trying to be a friend to Jennifer, but I think Jennifer didn't like that. Dolores ain't one of them. If you my friend, I'm gonna say you right if you not. Now that's what I think. So then we get into the love bubble. The love bubble is where it started to get interesting to me. Okay. Now Andy asked, to me, every time Andy tried to ask Teresa about her and Louie, and the girl went to explain about her and Louie, Marge started barging in like large Marge. Don't barge. Ha, it rhymes. Large Marge barge. Okay. Hey, Nita H. You watching it now? Okay, got you. That's right, girl. Come on back when you done. So she kept barging in, but Angie mentioned that Andy was pointing out the fact that, okay, you say Marge did X, Y, and Z. The articles were out ahead of time. That's true, but they weren't on the show, which is, again, like we said before, it's the same thing that Wendy Osefo was saying. You had one online person saying something, and maybe a couple of other online people parroting that person, but it's different when you brought it on the show. You gave it legitimacy by bringing it on the show. Large Marge knew what she was doing. Like, it wasn't accidental. It wasn't, oh, I'm worried about you. At no point, let's be clear, at no point did Marge's behavior said, I'm worried about Teresa. Her behavior didn't say that. Her behavior clearly said, I'm going to make her react. I'm going to needle her. I'm going to pick. I'm going to poke. I'm going to do everything possible to get your attention because I need a blow up. I need a moment. I need to be a victim. And I'm so sorry, Large Marge, you did not get what you was looking for. So she seems real happy is what Andy said, which she does. She seems like actually a much nicer person. She's still a hypocrite and all that, but she seems like a less toxic version of her former self now that she with Mr. Louie. Then Andy said it seems like he's the opposite of Joe. And that's true. I think we all see that. And so Teresa made the point that I tried to make earlier when it came to Louie. I feel like she was surviving that situation with Joe Giudice. She was afraid to walk away because for whatever reason, a lot of women, I'm not going to put it all on her, a lot of women have this fear of, I can't lose my husband. Whether he ain't no good or not, I can't lose my husband. So she was hanging on. But she pointed out exactly what I said. I don't even think she knew how much she was uncomfortable, how much she was unhappy until she got with somebody that actually made her happy. She said now she see the difference. Now, Andy tried to bring up that dog analogy. Y'all know the same one Large Marge tried to use to lie on them. Oh, she called you a dog and just nasty stuff. So, Andy's nasty. He brought that up. Dolores cleared it up. Like, I wasn't calling her no dog. It was an analogy. Like, for one, I love dogs. And I'm just saying, like, when you've been abused and somebody starts treating you good, you would defend that person with your life. And which I see the same thing. Hey, Shamika. You at work, you missed it all. That's all right, girl. And then catch us on replay. Debbie says it creeps me out sometimes, like bringing up Caroline and Kathy. That was so weird. Oh, wasn't it? Ty say Marge was determined to bring it on the show every single episode. Yes, absolutely. I won't say we because I can't speak for nobody but me. But I know I was tired of hearing about Louis. Tired. This man had the least amount of airtime out of all of the significant others on the show, and we heard his name more than every other man on that show. It made no sense. Marge was on an out-and-out campaign to attack Mr. Louis, who had done absolutely nothing to her. It made no sense. Made no sense. But Dolores cleaned up the analogy. They, about when it came to the engagement, Teresa says she did tell Joe Giudice, but now this part blew me away. I don't know if y'all heard her say this or not, but thank you, Mika. She said, I'm sure he still loves me. I was a good wife. Now on that note, I'm sitting there like, okay, Teresa's still delusional. That man didn't love you when he was with you. How he gonna love you now that he in a whole nother country with another woman and you with another man? Teresa's real delusional. I'm starting to see how she got herself in that situation with Joe Giudice. Ty said it was exhausting. Like, girl, find something else to talk about. I agree. It was too much. So he is giving something I don't know what yet. I don't know either, but I like Mr. Louis because Mr. Louis ain't with the mess. Debbie said because Marge had no other storyline. She didn't, Debbie. Really and truly, if she had took Louis out of her mouth, and I mean that just like I said it, if she took Louis out of her mouth and kept Louis out of her mouth, we really wouldn't have seen nothing from her this season. The only thing we had from her this entire season was her going after Mr. Louis and trying to provoke Teresa. That was pretty much it. That really and truly. So they he still loves me. They got into the no prenup situation. Guess who opened her mouth again? Marge. Mind your business. Good Lord, this girl don't like you. And she got good reason. Why are you steadily trying to get involved with this girl's business? Mame D say, I agree. Louis seems sketchy, but just let the girl be happy for once. Yeah, I don't know if he is D, you say he inside her head. I'm through, but you're right. But this the thing, man, D. I don't know if the man's sketchy. I know he don't want nothing to do with them. It's like he's tolerating them, but he don't really want nothing to do with them. I like men that stay out of women's business. I do. You say she would have been like Tracy. Amen. Dr. J, what you say? Well on. I don't care. Wait, she say, I don't care for him. Teresa is being controlled. Is she? Are we saying Joe Giudice wasn't controlling her? Because that's what I saw. That might be how Teresa like it. But I can tell you one thing. If she went from one controller to another controller, she sure found out how to find a controller that treats her nice. She found that out. Hey, Queen B, that's me. What up, girl? Love you. But get this. Like I say, Dr. J, you might be right. Maybe we'll find out something about him later. But just what we know of that man now, he ain't did nothing. I can't go after him. I ain't seen him do nothing. Andy up there throwing his 2 cents. I would like for you to get a prenup. And the girl was like, that's our business, which is true. She said Joe Giudice did that to her a week before the wedding, and she didn't want to even go through with it, but she did. And they kept pushing the issue. She was like, but he got more than me. And I said, wait a minute, hold up. See, y'all really finna make me like Louis. Louis got more than her. And I peeped that from the last episode. Because Louis made it clear, like, you ain't got to work nowhere. Louis was 1 second from telling her, I'll make you quit this job. Because Louis sat there and told her, you ain't got to work nowhere. I can take care of you for the rest of your life. You ain't got to put up with this. So Teresa had to reiterate, that man got more money than me. He got more than I got. So then it comes down to, if he got more than her and he don't even want a prenup, he might be serious about Teresa, y'all. You know, hey, it's a lid for every pot. There's somebody that wants everybody. If she is a hot to trot werewolf slash hammerhead shark, and that is his spec, then let that man have a werewolf for his dreams. Okay? Ty said they came for Louis every single episode. And for the most part, he miraculously kept his cool. I would have lost it after half an episode. Right. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I don't have a problem with that man. That dude stayed cool with all that nonsense. Dr. J said she found a rich controller. She found a nice one because Joe Giudice wasn't cheap. He was just a crook. He wasn't broke. He was just a crook. But the difference is you don't have to be a butthole to have money. Joe Giudice had money. He was just a butthole. This man got money and he actually talked to her like she's somebody. And apparently, whatever he doing to her, he need to keep doing it to her. Because Teresa is less offensive. I'm sorry. He's much less offensive. She's much less offensive, in my opinion. Shamika, what I did, I'm just saying, look, if he want himself a foxy werewolf, then get you a foxy werewolf. We ain't going to stand in your way. So they kept going, and it was almost like you could tell that that whole other couch was angry about her being happy. And they had to go into, Dolores wasn't invited to the engagement party. Teresa said it was like a couples only thing. Marge was trying to push it, which I didn't understand. You know, you wasn't finna be invited anyway. No matter what happened, you wasn't invited. Okay? Period. So while Marge's mouth was open, I don't know. Dolores was like, look, long as she happy, I'm not mad. Dolores asked straight up, like she said she called her at first and just was like, you know, you mad at me by something? And she said no and told her what, you know, what the lick was. And she was fine with that. So Dolores wasn't mad. And then they brought up the fact that Melissa wasn't no bridesmaid. Now, this is where y'all finally won me over when it comes to Melissa. Because y'all know me. Now, I don't take nobody's word for nothing. I got to see it for myself. Always got to see it for myself. What you say, D? Louis is zero tolerance of the foolishness, and he balances Teresa and always respects her. Yeah, I've never seen him be disrespectful, unlike her ex-husband. Say Teresa does bear strong resemblance to Eddie Munster. Okay, so you starting already, Auntie Eva. That's what we doing. Sniper rifles out, huh? Hey, Candy, I am dead. Auntie Eva has taken the safety off the sniper rifle. Okay, so anyway, that's when Melissa started her wahala, okay? So then she was like, oh, you got all Louis' sisters in there. You got your new sister-in-laws in there. And so Teresa just bluntly said what we all know. Girl, we not close. Melissa was like, yeah, but this, you know, I wasn't upset at first, but my heart is beating right now. And it's like, girl, you not that upset by not being no bridesmaid in Teresa's wedding. Stop lying. See, I'm going to tell y'all what I think. Y'all know I'm going to tell you what I think, right? I think the issue then becomes that this was Melissa's chance to get on the let's attack Teresa bandwagon. Because you know all season she wanted to jump in there and pile on with Jackie and Margaret, but she couldn't because Joe was like, you better not fight with my sister. Okay? Now this was her chance. So she gonna make it like, oh, this is all about you not letting me be a bridesmaid. And oh, you was a bridesmaid at my wedding. And then this part was weird to me. Now y'all tell me if I'm just tripping. Because I'm finally seeing this girl. But she went to bringing up weird stuff. Like, oh, I was painting your mama toenails. And I was doing this for your daddy. And I'm sitting there like, girl, them your mother. That was your mother and father-in-law. You didn't do that for Teresa. Like, am I tripping or is she dumb? RJ Gray say he is giving Teresa something she could feel, but I think Louis is giving off a little something just ain't right. They do need a prenup, so nobody will suffer if it goes wrong. Well, if he got more than her, he the only one standing in the way of getting some suffering. I don't have a problem with Louis. I'm sorry, y'all ain't flipped me on Louis yet. I finally see Melissa, but I'm still all right with Louis. Shamika say she should not be happy. What? She should not be happy you're invited. You're going to have to retype that one. I can't translate. Ty say, I'm a Taurus and we'll cut you off. That is true. That is true. DM Rock said, I agree with my girls, Teresa and Jennifer, about Joe getting involved with the woman drama. Yes, I totally agree, but we ain't got that far yet. Say, since I called Teresa with Louis Tree, the relaxed version. Right. Tree Teresa act like she be on them trees when she around Louis. I don't know whether that man got catnip on him or what it is, but she be straight chilling. If Louis is in the vicinity, we get a different Teresa. That's all I'm saying. Teresa really be, acting like somebody with sense. But she bringing up stuff she did for her parents-in-law, like her in-laws, and as though she did that for Teresa. You did that because you were married to their son, baby. That had nothing to do with them. Margaret kept jumping her 2 cents, putting her 2 cents in there. Ain't nobody pressed her buttons. You not related to them. You wasn't gonna be no bridesmaid. You ain't coming to the wedding, the reception. You ain't going to the after party. Girl, if they catch you on that street, they probably gonna stick dogs on you. Real live German shepherds. But she kept trying to throw her 2 cents in there. I don't know. At a certain point, I feel like Large Marge need to recognize that your whole plan for the season, it got derailed because Melissa couldn't help you get it done. Don't think that now because Melissa can actually talk, Jordan gave her permission to talk, that this was your chance to jump on in. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Child, that's what Marge told her. Marge told Jennifer she be high all the time. But I don't believe Marge. I actually believe Jennifer. What Jennifer said. Pinocchio, I believe Pinocchio told the truth. Dr. J say Joe has always been insecure when it comes to Melissa. I couldn't take Joe. He always go back to his man junk. That's right. Okay, Main D. I was like, what is going on? I didn't understand what she was saying. I'm like, girl, how you gonna bring up what you did for your mother and father-in-law? Anna say Teresa always screaming family first, but she doesn't have her sister-in-law in her wedding. That does not sit well in an Italian family. Well, she says she ain't close and she ain't pretending no more, honey. Girl, Marge is giving super upset. Marge is acting about Teresa the way Marlo is acting about Portia. I see it. I see it. Now, they kept going back and forth. And then Melissa went talking about that, in my opinion, I felt like Melissa was trying to make it like, oh, you choosing Louis family over us. You choosing Louis family over us. And I'm sitting there like, girl, this ain't about Louis family plus y'all. Why everybody want to take Mr. Louis? I don't know. I ain't seen that man call their name all season. But anyway, then they brings out Joe. Well, actually, before that, they went to talking about the seating arrangements because that was Melissa's beef about that engagement party. We wasn't at your table. We was at a different table. You had Louis family at your table. Margaret jumping in talking about, oh, you saw the seating arrangements. And I'm trying to figure out, Margaret, how do you know if this lady saw seating arrangements or not? You weren't there. You will never be there. I honestly, y'all, I couldn't understand why Large Marge kept getting in on this conversation. Yeah, she did say that. That was crazy, Tosh. Natasha Black. Something I should have waited because she was pregnant during the wedding. That was a mess. That was a mess. And then hold on, because I'm trying to keep track of my notes and talk to y'all. And so she's sitting there, and Teresa basically asking her, like, why are you getting in this? Like, you not family. And Marge's explanation was, well, I'm a good friend to her, and I'm a good friend to you. So Teresa was like, girl, you not my friend. Something's wrong with Marge. Like, I know y'all told me that Marge is coming for her spot. She wanted her spot. Hell, even Louis said it at this point, okay? But this is my problem. You already here. You've been exposed. You tried it. It didn't work. You got shut down. Even Mr. Louis done clown you on the season finale. And you up here talking about you a good friend. It's almost like she's hoping she can play the friend game, and then she'll get another shot to take. She'll get another chance to take a shot at this girl. Okay, let me explain what I mean. Like, okay, because we all women up in here. I don't think we got no fellas, but if we do, y'all welcome to. But it's a bunch of ladies in here, so let's talk, right? Y'all ever know somebody to try to do some underhanded, slick, nasty type stuff to you? And as long as they think they got a chance of doing you in, stabbing you in the back, or making you look bad, they're 100 miles an hour. The minute it doesn't work, then they try to hang around and I'm going to be friendly and see if you forget what they did, so that way they have a chance to get another shot at you. That's what I think is going on here. Y'all know what I'm talking about, or am I tripping? Because I know some people like that. Like, I know somebody that tried to do that to a relative, like ran around spreading stories, doing nasty stuff, like literally almost exactly the way Marge was doing it. And then once everything got exposed, it blew up, it didn't work, and nobody attacked the other person. Then it was like, oh, I'm sorry, we family matters first. And then they trying to get close again. And in my brain, and this just me, I can forgive you, but you still got to stay away from me, because I feel like those types of personalities, those people are basically trying to make nice with you, so you'll let your guard down, so they'll get another shot at you. You know, yeah, DS know what I'm talking about. Taj say it's like she thinks if she repeats it enough, we'll believe her. Yeah, girl, we don't believe you. Miss Sparkle, you know what I'm talking about? Christian gave me the bullseyes, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's how people do. Like, I don't like that. And I think that's what Margaret was trying to pull. And I'm a good friend to you too. Like, girl, you ain't that girlfriend. You basically, you did everything to show that you was the ops. And then once you got caught out there, now you hanging around like she supposed to be boo-boo the fool, let you get close again so you can get another shot. One thing about it, and two things for sure, you can't stab me in the back from across the street. Y'all will catch that later. If I got you on the other side of the street, I'm gonna keep you on the other side of the street. I'm never gonna let you walk on the same side of the sidewalk as me. You will never get another opportunity to feel for the soft spot in between my shoulder blades. That's what we not gonna do. Dr. J say Teresa is still a wild animal. Hello, another table scene. Child, you know, how can a werewolf not be a wild animal, Dr. J? She's a werewolf. Okay, I would have beat the brakes off Teresa if you messed up my outfit and food. And you right. You're right. I'm with you when you're right. DS, you got me? She say, then when they snuffed out, expect you to be stupid enough to give them another try. Exactly. And what I notice is the ones that do that, they try extra hard. They be on overtime trying it. It don't stop. And I'm one of them people, like, I ain't gonna mistreat you. I ain't gonna do nothing to you. But I can promise you, if I ever expose you, see your dirt, don't you ever in your life think I'm gonna give you another shot at my back. Nah, baby. Tara Hill say, my family don't care about seating arrangements. They came and sit where they want. The other family thought our family had special treatment. Yeah, and I'm telling you, I just didn't understand that the seating arrangement argument. That didn't get it. Say the new housewife that's replacing Jackie next season is a friend of Teresa's. Well, that's right, girl. As far away as possible. That's where you put them. Say bullseye. Yep, it's usually the folks who want what you girl, you better say it. You better say it. And sometimes it ain't your man or your money. Sometimes it's your anointing, baby. Sometimes it's your talent, your gift, and your charisma. Sometimes it's your spirit. They want what you got. And when they can't find a way to steal it from you, siphon it off of you, then baby, here come the PR tactics and campaigns. We gonna tell lies. We gonna make friends with all your enemies. We gonna kick up all the dust. And when the dust settles and you just dusty, all of a sudden, oh, let's be friends. I'm good. I'm just saying. Right, Tosh. Overtime. That's what Marge's trying to do. She ain't fooling me. And Melissa is over here trying to get amped up, pretending like she mad about a bridesmaid's position and a seating arrangement. Girl, you just mad because you were sitting up here trying to you wanted the bandwagon with Margaret and Jackie during the season. Joe wouldn't let you. This was your chance. And I feel like right now, Teresa ain't doing nothing to Melissa. Melissa mad about all that stuff Teresa did to her in the past, which was trifling as hell. But my problem with that, with Melissa, is if you a punk, say you a punk. All that stuff that girl did to you, you should have handled her back then. And I feel like Melissa only want to run her mouth now because she feel like she got backup. She feels strong enough to run her mouth and run at Teresa because, well, I got Marge and Jackie behind me. So now it's strength in numbers. I'm going to run at you. No, ma'am. I don't care if you had to stand all by yourself. If I had to be the lone desperado at high noon, you run at me, I run at you. When Teresa was up there working with what's her name? Kim D. Not yeah, Kim D, Kim D or Kim G? Oh, what was her name? Whichever one. The funny one that had that the funny one that had that boutique. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The one that had the boutique. And they was doing that fashion show, and she brought that man in there to say that Melissa was stripping. When that went down, instead of Melissa crying and acting like a victim, she should have swung on Teresa, because I would have. Clearly I would have. What you say? People just jealous. I'm telling you, a lot of people be jealous of your energy, and you never know. You for real, Shamika? You waiting on security? You want to come up here on the screen with us so we can hear your voice and know you good till them people get here? Because I don't mind. Kim D. Okay, I thought I had it right, but I wasn't sure if I had it right. Okay, but yeah, that's what I think going on with her. I think she feels real embarrassed that she let Teresa punk her, clown her, drag her, insult her all them seasons, and now I have backup. Let me run at her. Now she ain't doing nothing to you. Now you look stupid. Yes. Kim D, main D. It was Kim D. Yeah, she should have swung on her then. Why would you wait till way later when ain't nothing happening and you trying to jump on a bandwagon and pretending to be mad about stuff that really don't have nothing to do with you? Says, yes, she should have got up and knocked Teresa hairline back. Thank you. Simple. Teresa has insulted this girl 100 different ways. She done called her everything but a child of God. She done tried to set you up and have people call you a stripper. She done talked about how you using her brother. She done made comments to people on camera about and talking about, oh, if a man come along with more money, she was gonna leave your brother. All type of stuff. And you did nothing. You sat there like a knot on the log, season after season after season. And then the minute you thought you had backup, now you want to go barking. Girl, sit down. Sit down. Shamika, we need you talking, baby. You waiting on security. You out the door. You outside. Are you in a safe place? Y'all, Shamika gonna make me call her phone. I ain't even got her number. One of y'all got her number? You in there? You just gotta buy a new lock. Okay. Long as you good. All right, bet. So anyhow, Joe come out and he said, now Joe was kind of cool. Hey, Michelle Chapman Hannibal. Joe was kind of cool because he was like, I felt a way about it, but he didn't get all overexcited about Melissa not being in the wedding. They say Joe was asked to be in the wedding, but then when Melissa wasn't asked to be in the wedding, then he didn't really feel comfortable doing it or whatever. Teresa say that Louis be calling Joe all the time, but Joe barely be, calling him back and stuff and don't be talking. And I thought about that. Okay, so he asked you to be in the wedding. He extended the branch to you. Teresa extended the branch to his sisters. And I kind of get that. And I just didn't understand the big deal, because if I was Melissa, I wouldn't want to be in Teresa's wedding. If you still mad about the stuff she did to you, why would you want to be in her wedding? It doesn't make sense. I know you trying to leave, but we want you to be safe. Debbie saying now she got Joe fighting for her. She said let them fight it out. Yep, that's what she wanted. And then, Teresa's telling Melissa, like, girl, just keep the peace. I'm trying. You're not trying to keep the peace. I feel like Melissa was waiting all season, and I think she was hoping to get Joe amped up during the season, but it didn't really work. Now, Teresa kind of shook me because she went back to the beginning, talking about that Melissa made friends with Caroline and Jackie, and it's like, oh my God. Even Andy was like, I know we're not going back to the beginning. Please, we not finna go back to the beginning. Hey, Deborah Randall. Thank you for hitting the like button. All right, that's what we needed to see was the thumbs up. We needed the thumbs up. RJ Gray says, yeah, be careful, please. Hey, Sharon Stanley. So, anywho, you know, he was talking about how he felt about it or whatever, and saying that I wouldn't have never did that. And if I had done that, he was saying he would have took it as he would have been disrespectful to his sister not to invite her husband. So he was saying like to not invite Melissa felt like it was kind of a slight to him. I understood his point. They went back and forth a little bit. Of course, Large Mars tried to jump in. And what was so funny, y'all, was the blackout. After Andy asked Teresa when she had ever had Melissa's back and give them an example, the lights went out. I died. Even the lights was like, girl, you ain't got no answer for that. Did y'all notice that? It was like them lights went out on cue. They went out on cue. You say, nope, he cut it off. I have to get a new locker key. Oh, okay, gotcha. But yeah, that was crazy. So then Melissa brought up the fact that she shouldn't have stayed at Jen's house after they got kicked out, talking about, oh, after she put her hands on me or whatever. And I'm sitting there like, basically, yes, Dr. Ivy, girl, I hollered when the lights went out, girl. I hollered too. I hollered when them lights went out. I say even the lights knew it was a lie. A lie was finna come out her mouth. Teresa talking about production. Can y'all help me? Can y'all show me something? Yep, work keys, not the house or the car, because I'm thinking it was a car situation or something. That made me nervous. DS was like, that was like a mic drop when the lights went out. Yes, because there wasn't no answer to that. Teresa up there talking about production, can you help me out? Girl, can't nobody help you with something that ain't never happened. You know good and hell well you ain't never had that girl back because you ain't never liked that girl. David say that was Louis helping Teresa. It was either Louis or Lucifer. It was one of them. Now, I ain't going to say which, but it was one of them. Now, I understood where Melissa was coming from because during the season, I kind of felt like, you know, your brother and sister was offended at this lady for putting them out. So you didn't have to stay at the house that night. You and Louis could have went on and went somewhere else. It didn't have to go like that, okay? But she did, and that was a good point because Teresa would have had a fit if she had got into it with somebody, and then Joe and Melissa stayed at the person's house, it would have been a mess. That was real. That was typical Teresa hypocrisy, though. Y'all know Teresa a hypocrite. And then Jennifer says this was the part where Margaret was basically calling Jennifer Pinocchio a drug addict. Okay, you say you started speaking in tongues. You say that was production being messy. Y'all so crazy. Oh. Taj say not Louis pulling the breaker. He might have done it. Hey guys, anointed daughter, you might be late, but I'm glad you're here. So this was the part where Margaret called that girl a drug addict, and I felt like to pull a drug addict card and just throw that out there. Oh, you high all the time. You wanted that girl to shut up because I heard what Jennifer said before Margaret said, "Oh, you high all the time." That's one of them throwaways. I'm going to throw that out there to make you be quiet. She wanted her to be quiet because Jennifer was like, Margaret is the one that told me that Joe was a crook. And so that's why she repeated it. And I'm sorry, y'all. I believe Pinocchio. I believe Pinocchio. I do. I believe Jen this time. Mame D say Putin did it for our girl Tree. You say Putin. I believe Putin did it. You know that's the rule on the porch. Anything happen, Putin did it. Mm-hmm. Except for this right here, Margaret did it. Because Jennifer say Margaret the one told her Joe was a crook. And the girl don't apologize for it. But since they keep bringing it back up, it is what it is. I believe her. And I believe that's why Margaret throw that out there. Oh, you high all the time. She wasn't so high she didn't hear what you said, though. Okay? So then they move on to that mess with Jill, with Teresa's daughter. Her little disrespectful behind. Now, this segment right here took me out because y'all know I can't stand bad kids. Y'all know that. Y'all know it's something about them bad children that ticked me off. So they brought up this mess. They brought the children up and played all the clips and stuff. I'm glad they didn't bring that little disrespectful snot-nosed girl out there because she's a horrible little creature. In my opinion, I feel like she's going to be much worse than her mammy because she got a lot of her daddy in her. And it's hard to be worse than her mammy, but I believe she is. Okay? No problem, Mika. You know we got you. So then they brought it up. Joe was like, at the time he needed more time. He wasn't ready to sit down with them children. Teresa talking about my daughters are strong-minded. They not strong-minded. They rude as hell, and you ain't raising them right. Now that's what's going on. That's what I said, Tosh. How on what? Now we heard a lot of stuff about Jen, but we ain't never heard nothing like that. And the fact that people was going back and forth with her real heavy, if that girl was a user, they would have said it before now. She threw that out there to try to like I'm a smear you, and your husband's a doctor or whatever. I'm a smear you. Don't be trying to threaten that girl with a smear because she told the truth about what you said. And you don't want Melissa to know what you said because you need Melissa on that bandwagon to help you attack Teresa. Girl, I see you. Yeah, them children rude. Talking about they strong-minded. My foot. Real talking about strong-minded. Then production played all of Teresa's insults and attacks from previous seasons when they went to point out that when she was saying like, oh, my children watched the show and they saw this and they saw that. So Melissa and Joe was like, our children watched the show. Look at all the stuff you done said about us. And Teresa was playing dumb. Like, well, I mean, I'm sure they are probably mad at Joe. I'm sure they're not mad at me because I didn't do anything. Baby, production had her on lock. Okay? Had her on lock. Played all the clips, all the insults, all the attacks from earlier seasons. Child, I forgot how tragic them people look. They don't look good now, but it was so much worse before. I believe Teresa's hairline was 3 times as thick. She looked like a Shaolin monk, and Joe had that hair on his head looking like baby chicken feathers. It was horrible. It was horrible. Tara Hill say bad kids are ugly no matter how cute they are. That's so true, and them children ain't cute worth a darn. Yeah, she's a messy, rude, nasty little heifer. SS say Joe Gorga may or may not have been wrong, but you show your elders respect. It's the disrespect for me that's inexcusable. Real inexcusable. Real. Now, this was the thing. The fact that not only did they play all of the insults from Teresa from past seasons, and they pointed out, good point, that Joe Giudice is still insulting Joe and them on social media right now. And that's okay. And so they're like, well, why don't you tell Gia that? So she won't be feeling like, X, Y, and Z. And Teresa like, I'm not telling Gia anything. Girl, you her mama. You supposed to tell her when she wrong. What kind of mama is that? Your child is out of line, disrespecting her elders, talking out the side of her neck. And instead of you readjusting her, okay, and reasoning her matter, you up here talking about you not telling her nothing? Are you mad? I don't understand it. You say, Gia, I'm doing my boxing dance. Okay. I'm just saying. Listen, you know what they had, what Teresa hairline looked like. Y'all remember, hey Eve, y'all remember when them lace front wigs first came out and the girls didn't know how to pluck them at first, and all of them had them real hard, sharp hairlines that looked like somebody edged them up at the barber shop with a straight edge razor. That's how Teresa head looked. Teresa head looked like she had on one of them old school lace front wigs from back in the day with that real hard, thick, sharp hairline. It looked like a lace front. For real. He in Italy. It ain't like he in prison. He not in Siberia. He in Italy. He over there eating good food, drinking wine, and chasing women. DS say Gia has always needed her mouth popped. Yes, she need a whole backhand. She need a whole Serena Williams backhand to the mouth. That's a nasty little cow right there. I'm telling you. I'm that's one of them kids. Just give her a whipping as soon as you get home. Just wake her up and whip her on GP because she did something. So after Teresa made that ridiculous comment that, oh, I'm not telling Gia nothing. And then they went to bringing up the fact that Jennifer called Joe a BIT blank blank boy and a B boy. And what would you say if he called Louis that or whatever? Like, I didn't understand the apples and oranges on that one. I'm like, whatever, the girl said that to her. She didn't think that was a thing. She said she corrected the girl about calling him a crook, which I believe she did. But ain't but so much she gonna go after the girl because the girl is kissing her behind. Y'all know that. I know that. We all know that. But then Teresa made a point. Teresa made a point, which was it was an excellent point. You know, I hate to give it to Teresa, but when, you know, like I always say, even a broke clock is right twice a day. Teresa said, well, you are a little too involved in the girl stuff. And he is. Okay, let's call a thing a thing. This took me all the way back to Nene telling Peter with the good skin, stop acting like, stop trying to be a bee. Stay out women's stuff. Joe Gorga, as much as he is funny, I enjoy Joe being drunk, acting goofy with the men. I do not enjoy Joe getting involved in women's mess. If Melissa don't know how to talk for herself, then let her be a deaf mute. Stop getting involved in women's stuff. I'm not feeling it. RJ Gray says she always let that little girl be willy-nilly at the mouth. One day she gonna get chin checked for not staying in the child's place. Right. One of them grown people she talking crazy to, go adjust her for you. She go adjust her for you. And then Teresa gonna want to cry. Oh, she's a kid. She's a kid. If your child is if your child is a kid, you might want to tell your child to stay in a child's place. That's all I'm saying. Just, you know, word to the wise. Just a little PSA for any other mothers who allow their children to talk to grown people like they're their classmates, because maybe somebody's not explaining it properly. And then they started going at Jen, and Jen was like, look, I done already apologized to you about this, and then called him a B-girl, and you ass slapping me. I'm going to say something back. I'm going to defend myself. And then Teresa said, well, you are kind of a housewife. And they went back and forth some more till Joe left. I felt like Joe should have left. You was trying to get in there to argue Melissa's points. You really didn't have no points at this point. You could have checked Teresa during that season 100 times. You really did. But now that Melissa's upset and Melissa's pretending to be outraged because she's not in this girl wedding, you trying to do Melissa's talking points for her. Let Melissa talk for herself. I know she ain't that smart, but she's also not a ventriloquist dummy. Remove your hand out of the rectum. Stop trying to pull strings and do the talking. Like, stop it. Let her talk for herself. DS, what you say? Joe act like Josephine in women's business. I agree. And it's not cute. Jill needs some serious straightening, like a hot comb. The kind you had to run back and forth to the stove, not the one you plug in. That's the kind of straightening she needs, complete with wax. So this was part one. Now I'm interested to see, this just me, what part two is going to be like. I didn't see anything in the preview that was too interesting. I think it was funny that Joe was backstage telling Louis, don't get involved with nothing. Don't defend nobody because they're going to say you a B. And I did like the fact that they pointed out to Jen, you say he acting like a B getting in women's stuff, but then you was mad at your husband for not getting in women's stuff and not defending you. So, and that was true. That was a hot double standard. But what else can we expect from Pinocchio? But I think next week is going to be a filler. Unless they got a whole lot of footage that they didn't give us none of, no type of teaser on this episode. But honestly, y'all, if I got to be real, I think next week is going to be a filler episode. That's really what I think. So if it is, then, you know, we're going to treat it like that. We'll jump on here for 20, 30 minutes, talk about them and dip, or we'll talk about something else, because they're not going to take up my life for no filler. Now, it might be worth it, it might not. But from what I've seen, I would say the last few reunions for different franchises, this is not just me knocking New Jersey, but on the different franchises, what I've seen is when they stretch them out and, it's a three-part reunion, it's usually one of the reunions that's a filler. It's usually, if they saying it's a 3-part, it could have been done in 2, is what I'm saying. This season on New Jersey, they didn't have enough happening, in my opinion, to make it 3 parts. Straight up. I don't see it. Like, we covered the whole Teresa, Louis. I guess we're going to probably have like a segment of Teresa versus Margaret. Because when they were talking about Teresa and Louis, I don't think that was supposed to be Teresa and Margaret. But Margaret couldn't wait to jump in and insert herself. even when she was talking to Melissa and to Joe. So maybe they gonna do Teresa versus Marge at Large Marge at some point. However, it looked like next week the men gonna come out, which is boring. You know, the men are cool to watch them get drunk, but if they not drunk, y'all know what I know, they ain't bringing nothing. So we'll just see. Let me see some more of y'all comments before I jump up out of here. Eve says, Melissa been getting on my nerves, Team Teresa. Oh, that's hard, ain't it? Oh, shoot. Let me throw the link in case one of y'all want to say something, because I that's all I got. Y'all know I pay close attention. I try to catch the little slick stuff that's being said here and there so we can dig into it, kind of decode and figure out, what they're getting at, who's admitting to what, because they always end up telling on themselves. Hold on. Deborah Randall said it should have been 2 episodes. Their season was short, so no need for 3 parts. Just saying. I agree. I feel like the guys coming out, they could have put that on the end of one of the other ones. I don't think they needed a whole episode for that. Main D say, if it's a filler next week, we can do a chat on boosting discernment, like sharing gems on how to keep the wrong people out your life. Well, if you want to do that, babe, we could just do a crown chat. You know how we do. LEL said, I'm late, but did you get around to watching the trailer and see Andy act like a rabbit crackhead? No, I didn't see the rabbit crackhead routine, but I'd sure like to. Y'all know I love a good crackhead. I do. I don't have no problem with them. As long as they ain't stealing at my house. Other than that, we cool. I don't have no problem with you. But I would like to see Andy do his crackhead rendition. That'd be very nice. But listen, it looked like ain't none of y'all got nothing to say. Y'all like to hang out. I done peeped how y'all play. Y'all like to hang out in the chats. Y'all like to hang out in the chat and tell me all this crazy stuff and then make me read this crazy stuff on the screen. I see how y'all play. But I ain't even mad because I'm just glad to have somebody to kick it with. I appreciate y'all. I wanted to come in so we could talk about something else that I peeped. Y'all, it's some crazy stuff going on. But I know a lot of y'all got work in the morning, and it was hard to kind of keep y'all up late enough to talk about this. So I ain't going to do too much. I guess what I wanted to talk about tonight, we'll talk about tomorrow. Because we ain't going to be able to talk about it tonight. It just ain't going to work tonight. But I'm going to let y'all go to bed. We done talked about these people. Hopefully they don't just give us a filler episode next week. But if they do, like Main D say, honey, we just going to talk about something else. That's what we going to do. We going to do what we do best. But anyway, y'all please hit the like button for me. You know I'm going to beg. It's time for me to beg like James Brown. Okay, please, please, please. If you didn't hit it already, go ahead and hit that bad boy now. Dr. J1916, thank you so much for the super chat. She said, good night, sis. And good night to you too. Good night, Sharon Stanley. Y'all get some rest. Hit the like button, please. Thumbs up, thumbs up. I hope I am good for a thumb. I enjoyed you all thoroughly. Check your subscribe button. Make sure it's gray. If it's red, hit it, because that means you're not subscribed. Hit it and turn it gray. Please hit your notification bell and click all so you'll know every time I go live over here on this good porch. And also, be positive, be productive, be encouraged. And most importantly, make sure that you're encouraging somebody else. Had a good time talking with y'all. Everybody have a great night. Say your prayers, sweet dreams, and we'll talk again tomorrow. Bye, y'all.